Hey everyone, today is December 8th, 2023, but this video is going to be a future prediction price for crude oil for 2024 based upon how I do my technical analysis for the markets I trade. One of the markets I do trade is the crude oil futures markets. And so this is going to be a longer term prediction for it. So starting off right now, we're looking at the daily chart for crude oil. What we're looking at right here, this is just one of the trade sets that I do, the expanding triangle trade. Now this one has already been complete, but I want to show you how it works. So what you have right here using the semaphores, and how the semaphores work are they get painted after the fact for it. Let me take off the previous days, highs and lows. They get painted after the fact. The green ones are the lowest, kind of the weakest ones. Then goes to the orange are the second tier, and then the red ones are the strongest ones. So to have a red, you have to have an orange. And to have an orange, you have to have a green beside it. So what I do is I look for is either 4 consecutive oranges, which reds can be in there because to have again a red, you have to have an orange. And so this is what we have right here. So we have a low right there, 0.1. Here we have a high here, 0.2. We have a lower low right here, 0.3. And then we have a high, 0.4. So that's what I just call the expanding triangle trade. So then what we do is we go and we take the shift pitchfork, and from points 2, 3, and 4, we put it right on there. And the only level we have right there, well, we have the median line, which is the red line, and then the yellow line is the 1.146. And that's my main target I use for my Fibonacci trades. And so it works well in this trade setup right here. So what we do is once we get those confirmed semaphores, we put it on right there. And then when price closes below the median line, that's our signal to go short. So right there is the short. So the target we have is the yellow line right down there. And as you can see, this one went down there and hit it at around $73.97. That's how it works. A real simple, easy trade setup for there. Now that one is already said and done for this year, but let me show you something, one that I just noticed that is the potential trade setup for 2024. So usually going to the monthly chart right here. Let's take this off of there. Here we have 0.1, 0.2, lower low 3, and then high 0.4. So as long as you have 4 semaphores in a row that all coincide with the same color, we're good. Since there isn't any other greens within here, and that's the next green, we're good to go. Because that's technically, to have an orange, you have to have a green. So there we have a green within an orange, green within an orange. And then with the red, you have to have an orange and a green in it. So there we go right there. Then you have a green right there. So we're good to go right there. So then what we do is we take the shift pitchfork and go up to points 2, 3, and 4. Now something very interesting happens. So it is still in December, and so since each candle is a month's worth of data in it, this candle is not confirmed yet. So currently, as of today, the price is $71.20, and this is for the crude oil futures contract. This is just rolling contracts, so this one doesn't expire each month. Like you can see right here, here's the next contract that I'm trading, the February contract. So obviously if you put like the monthly on there, you'll get, just a couple bars within it. But this is the continuous futures contract for oil right here. So you can see in December, when December ends, from December 31st going into the new year starts January 1st. Let's see what day that will be. Will the markets be open? Yeah, well, the markets will be closed then on the 29th. So when the markets close there on the 29th. I'm not sure what time they'll be open that day since it's going into the new year, should they're closed all day or not. But anyway, it's not going to be moving that much. But needless to say, if at the end of this month the price closes below this median line, so somewhere like around 74.32-ish or lower, then we have the signal to go short in the crude oil market. And if that happens, the target will be down here, this yellow line right down here. So we'll just put that on there for potentially, saying that's going to be the diagonal move down for it. So it could be anywhere, something like, well, it won't be a $-, but you can see, it starts off down here and down in the dollars and then moves up, 18, 19, 20s, and 30s. So there is some real potential for whatever could happen in there in the world for the price of oil to really take a huge shot here in the next couple of years, going into 2024 and then, on for it. So there is Very, very, very interesting. But again, December has to close below that median line. If it doesn't and it rallies up here, closes above it, then we have to wait for the next months to see when it's going to close. But when we do get one that closes below it, that is the target we're looking for down here. Now, if, or when really, probably when it closes below the median line, if the price does not go down and hit the yellow line, but rallies up here and hits the upper end, see this upper end right here? Hits the upper end of the shift pitch for it going here the other way, any point along it, then we move the target, which was originally this down here, to, let me show you real quick how I do this. We go from points 3 to 4. Let me put on there the 0.146 level right here, and we move the target up to the 0.146 level from, actually I think I created the other way. Yeah, there we go. 0.146 right there. So that's the target we move it to right there for it. So here would be like, say if the end of December was today, here's where the entry was. If price rallies up after closing here and doesn't hit the bottom of the trend channel but goes up here, it's the top, then move the target to this line right here, 105.56. But for that to happen, there would obviously be something going on big time in the world, because that would create potentially all-time highs. You see the last all-time high was at 147.27. This probably would go up there and exceed that to create that target down there. So that's why I'm thinking that stands a better shot of coming back down here and hitting these levels, since it obviously has been, as you can see, historically going back to the 80s, has hit plenty of times down between the $30 and $50 for it. So that's the price prediction I have. If December closes below it or preceding month closes below it, look for the price of oil to come down here, somewhere within, I would say, if it gets really a big, huge sell-off, which, never thought futures go the negative contract for a day, but in that crazy month in 2020, it did. You had everything expiring on the same day, plus there was tons of supply out there. The price went into the negatives and then rallied back up from it. But, it could definitely go back down here into the low single digits, or somewhere up in the 20s and $30 a barrel. But if the price rallies up, creates a new all-time record high for it up here, and then the target moves down to the 105 level. So I mean, either way, we're in for a wild ride in oil here in the next couple of years. But the kicker is going to be whenever the price closes below this median line. You can see it kind of did right here, but I look for the full bar to close down below it. You see half of it's down above it, half below. So just to make it really easy to see, you want the full bar to the full closing of the line of the bar to be off the median line, which it is currently right there. So whether it happens this month or in a future month, whenever that happens, the setup is there that in the next couple of years, it's going to be, there's going to be some wild times in the oil and gas markets for the price of oil. We're either going to get a big swing down here low again, anywhere from down to the single digits up to the 20s to 30s, something like that. So still, it's going to be, price of oil is at least going to be halved more than likely from where it currently is in the 70s, or we're going to get a huge run up here to the all-time highs, anywhere going from the 160s, even up north, 180s, something like that. And then once that happens, we'll look for the retracement back down to the low 100s for it. So, that's my prediction for the price of oil, that there's going to be some extreme swings here in oil kicking off in 2024. So we look for 2024, the price to really start going back down, looking at these levels, these really low levels right here, or we'll look for the price of oil to rally to all-time highs before we get price to retrace back down here to that level. And then one thing also is when you get the price going up this high up here, this is kind of like the upper echelon level to look for that. If we do get that big move up in here, then what I've seen is from point 3 to 4 right there, the 1.14 extension. I'll go back there and put it on there. It seems to be the upper echelon for a move like that before we get, movement back down. Not saying it's going to go up there. If it does hit, not saying it's for sure going to go up there. Price does hit, this upper line up here, but that seems to be the either upper echelon if you're going looking for a short, or if you're going down and you're looking for a long, down here on the downside, the 1.44 level is kind of like the kicker for it, where price is going to bounce off of before it makes a retracement. So again, not saying it's definitely going to get hit up there, but if it does start creeping up there and hits this area, then start looking for sooner than later. Price definitely, and I do say definitely, looking for price to retracing back down here to the low 100s. But if it does hit up there, and we're looking at the $200 level, which history of oil and gas have by far blow away the last time, which was around, was that the high, that 147-ish, 147.27, blow that out of the water for it right there. So I mean, either way, here in 2024, moving on, we're going to be in for some extreme price movements here in oil. So that's my prediction. We're just waiting on at the end of December if this closes below it. If not, the median line, we'll look for the next preceding months to eventually close below it, and then we'll see what's going to happen. Like I said, one way or the other, we're going to test some lows again down here, back in anywhere from like the single digits all the way up to 20s, 30s, 40s, even potentially 50s and stuff like there. But you traditionally look for a price to really take a dive. Or if not, if for some reason we get that and it just shoots up over here, then look for the extreme move up here up to about 201 to 200s, and then look for the retracement back down there. So it'll be very interesting going into 2024 what's going to happen. But again, we have to wait for either this monthly candle or another monthly candle to close below it. When that happens, here we go. It's on. So anyways, that's my prediction for 2024. Thanks. Bye.